show you how I made this ceramic coaster with the Infusible ink. So here's my project already made. I did a test run before I made this video, but I'm going to duplicate everything and show you how I did it. So we'll open the project, hit customize. And by the way, I'm using the actual Design Space desktop version. I'm not using the online version. And I know that's going away soon, the online, so you guys need to download the desktop if you haven't. It's nothing, no different really. I adapted to it very easily. Alright, so I measured, you can go to Design Space to get the size you need for your disc, which is 3.576, but how I did that was go to projects, go to, you can either just type it in up here, coasters I think, and I just clicked on, I think it was this one, hit customize. It's going to take mine away, but I want to show you real quick how I got the measurements. Okay, so this one is 3.6 by 3.3. And the diameter on the back of the package of your disc, say the 3.6. So I just wanted to be a little bit smaller, but that's how I did this though, is I looked at this and remembered it. So I'll delete that. Go to replace. Home. So reopen my project. Customize. So, now this is two different things to do. I do mine to where it will cut, I do a circle so it'll cut completely out of the Infusible ink sheet. You don't necessarily have to do that, but to me it saves the sheets better and it cuts down a little bit of the waste. So here's mine. Like it says 3.57 by 3.57. So we can, first this is my own image too that I uploaded, but you can find anything in here. But let's type in owl. And then my image. And what you want to kind of stick with a line image, you know, or kind of like a single layer image, I guess what I'm trying to say. Like something like this, or this one would work. My image is way down here, so here's the one I did. So we'll insert. And then I want to get some circles. So to go to shapes, circle. And remember the size was 3.576. That should make it equal. And I like to duplicate this a few times, so let's do 3. Duplicate, duplicate. And then we're going to add a text. Oh. Okay. And then let's change that. Ooh, I can't remember what one I used. And let's look over here. So I used the Alley Cat. So let's look for that one. I think I used this one. Yep. And I messed up there. I used the wrong punctuation. There we go. So, one really cool thing about this is that you can now curve your text, which is up here, and we want to curve it up. We'll go ahead and go like that for now. We'll size it down. This is going to be our one we're going to work with. So, and I just do this by, forgot to send them to the back. Send back. Let's do all of them. Send back. And send it back. Oh, that was already back. Let's do this one. Alright, so I'm going to, I just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll show you the reason why. We can adjust the curve now since you kind of see the curve here. There we go. And let's move it up a little more. You don't want it too close to the edge. That looks good. So you want to attach this now. At least this is how I do mine. Actually, you want to attach all three because the reason why is, like I said, I want this to cut all the way through the Infusible ink sheet. So I want to cut 3 times so it'll go all the way through. So let's click on all these and let's center. And I want to I already see my problem is going to happen. It's going to mess with my text and everything, but that's okay. So we can reselect that, bring that down, move this guy up a little bit. And that looks pretty good. And then we'll attach all. Now it's all attached, and we can now do make it, which I'm going to hide this, and I actually want to delete this whole thing. I just want to show you how I made it and how it works. So now when we go to make it, there it is all in one mat, and we'll cut the circle 3 times, and then we'll cut our image out and we'll weed it. So don't forget too, you have to mirror. Don't ever forget that. It's always easy to forget. And we'll pick up after we get it to cut, and I'll show you how we weed it and apply it. Now, one thing I did forget to mention here, you guys, is that when you come up here, here's all your favorite material. If it's not in there, you can just search by clicking on Browse All Material. Type in ink. And then right there is your Infusible ink transfer sheet. And then it's going to tell you here to make sure you mirrored it. Please don't forget to do that. I always keep the pressure default. And you can do fast mode, but I just keep it on regularly usually. So now we're going to press the button and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so before we finish up this project, I wanted to show you just a couple of the Infusible ink packs. This is the one we're using today it's called Mermaid Rainbow. There's also Watercolor Splash. And then the patterns. These 2 I've already opened, and you always want to keep the boxes because it helps you to remember what colors are in there, and it keeps the moisture out. So we'll actually open this one up so you guys see how it actually comes. So it comes in a black, almost like air vacuum or vacuum sealed plastic. You will just take some scissors. And we'll do this end. It's got a lot more here to cut. You don't want to cut into your tubing here. And then just peel it back. You don't have to keep this, but you can if you want to. It would probably be pretty hard to put it back in there. Now, the most important thing is don't have any fresh lotion. Have your hands completely dry and clean, because this stuff can be messed with if you have any moisture. You'll actually rub off the ink. So I try not to handle it too much. You also get butcher paper, which you'll see why we need that. You also get this little card here. It tells you to go to this website, which is infusibleinc.com, to tell you what settings you need. You always must check your settings. And a little sample piece. You want to try it on this first to see how it does. This is that gel, silicone gel. I like to keep that in the box so it keeps the moisture out. And I just put everything back in there together. Alright, let's move this out of the way. Now, the reason why we did the 3 cuts, I'm going to show you. This was my test run I done, and it turned out really well. A little bit of I'll explain what happened here. But I was very happy. This is my very first time making one, and it was turned out great. So, as you see here, I already did one here. So on my mat, I forgot to show that in the video. Just make sure you line it up. I did it right at the 4-inch mark. So I was doing it right below that. So we're going to probably speed this up a little bit, but I'll go ahead and give you some pointers here. So let's first get this off. Always pull the mat away from your project. Okay, so we put this to the side. And then we'll peel this little guy off. And some of the pieces sometimes wants to stick a little good. And sometimes you need a little spatula. There we go. Well, they already come out, which is fine. So what you want to weed out though is all the inside things. So, and it can be kind of tricky. And another thing is too, you don't want to keep touching this. So a little bit of pro tip is I use one of my little cards here. I use that to hold it down. So your skin's not touching the ink because it will rub off. So I like to use some tweezers and your little weeding tool, and this can be about 10 to 15 minutes sometimes, especially something that's with all these cuts. So I'm going to speed this up so it won't be so painful to watch. If there's any errors or anything, I'll show you how I corrected them, and I'll show you all that, so don't worry about that. Like I said, again, I always use something. I use rubber gloves if you have some of those. You just don't want to be touching that too much or you will rub it off. Okay, I'm going to stop here. So look, I pulled my whole O out, and I want to keep that middle in there. So what you can do is try to get the center out, and you can just put it back in there. Alright guys, so there it's weeded. I really wouldn't probably recommend doing this again with this much intricate cutting this small, but everything seems to hold. The O's, as you saw, I had to fix back in there. So if you ever lose a piece, just take your time. I see the E's got a little scratch here. And it should be just fine. So let's clean up our mess here. And let's look up to see what temperature and settings I need to make my easy press here. So we'll be right back, okay? Find out what setting you need for your easy press and everything. We went to infusibleinc.com. This is the site that comes up. And you scroll all the way down to the bottom. And you go to help. And then you go to see all 12 articles. And then here's the most common ones that you're going to have here, which we did the ceramic blank coasters. Click there. It's going to tell you everything you're going to need on how to do this project, which is very detailed, and I really like this. But to get to the part where we need to know for the easy press, I'll show you where to scroll down to. Right here, where it says step 2, apply. And right here is going to tell you, if you have the Easy Press 2, it's going to be 400 degrees for 240 seconds. If you have the Easy Press, regular Easy Press, it doesn't go to 400 degrees, so I think you have to set it out at max, and I think you go to like 300 and some odd seconds. But I think here it tells you, yes, for the regular one, you'll click here, and then you can click on the Easy Press. And go down to the transfer sheet and then ceramic coasters. Apply. So it's going to be 360 for 300 seconds. So you can still use your old one if you have it, but if you have the Easy Press 2, it's going to be 400 degrees for 240 seconds. So that's the difference, but this is really nice, and like I said, it depicts here, here's your pad, your cardstock, your ceramic plate, then the butcher paper. And then just follow those instructions. It's very easy. I love Cricut. They have a great way of having pictures and explaining it to you very well how to do things. And so that's just how you know how to pick the material. It's very important you get all that correct or you're not going to get the proper results. Okay guys, so what we have to do is get our heat press here, and I have the small one here, that's all I have. We'll turn it on. It says it needs to go to 400 for 240 seconds, which I already have that set up. So I have that preheat over here. Next thing you're going to need is some heat resistant tape, which I ordered this one off of Amazon. Cricut's is a little thicker and probably better. I just got this off Amazon for pretty cheap. You're going to need your Easy Press mat. I'm using some watercolor paper, but you can use cardstock, just something to protect your mat before you use this. Then of course the piece of butcher paper that come with the Infusible ink. You have to use butcher paper. It's not like parchment or anything. This keeps the moisture out as it's heating. So while this is still heating up, we will prep everything. So we will get a blank here and need to wipe it off with a lint-free towel. Make sure it's good and clean, no fingerprints or anything. And then you apply your ink, Infusible ink onto there. And what's important, like you saw, like I told you before, I've got a problem. See how it's curled up? You need to make sure you get it down really well. So I'm going to cut some pieces of this off here when I find the end. But you must use heat-resistant ink. I do know that's a must. Got me like 4 for now. That heated up fast. I cannot believe how fun and easy this really is. I can't wait to do some shirts and stuff. But this is a great idea, way to personalize gifts for people. So just try to get on there the best you can here. Let's do that should right there be good. Get 2 on here and wrap them around. Like I said, you want to make sure, see there's still some edges that's pulled up here. You want to get them all the way down. It's going to be perfectly flat. right there. Alright, so looks to be pretty flat there. So you'll do from the opposite side of the ceramic only. And like I said, look at infusibleinc.com and look up the material you're using, and it will go step by step. It's a great way to show you how to do it. So you flip it upside down, and then you put your butcher paper over it. And you got 240 seconds, so I'm going to speed this up here until it's done, okay? And when you put this on, put it straight on and try to keep it from moving. Okay guys, so now it's done. So you let it straight up and try not to move anything. And we're going to turn it off. And the reason why it's so important you don't move anything and you keep everything still is because how the infusible ink works is that it's a solid at first, but then when you heat it up to the high temperatures of 400, it turns into a gas, and that's what transfers it onto the ceramic or any item that you're using the infusible ink on. The infusible ink only works on things that's been approved by Cricut, so you get to buy most of your stuff through Cricut. But then, as we know, you're going to take this off though. But as you know though, ceramic is a very good heat insulator, so it's going to hold the heat for a very long time. That's why you have to do it for the 240 seconds, so it gets all the way through the ceramic to heat the other side to cause it to do the gas exchange. So then it's going to take a long time to cool down. So we'll stop the video here and we'll pick up when it finally cools down, which takes about 20 to 30 minutes to cool, sometimes longer, sometimes less. I guess you could maybe put a fan on it to help cool it down. I mean, if you don't have time. But I just let mine set here until it's completely cool. You don't move it until it's completely cool. And you only ever peel it off at, it's called a cool peel or cold peel. All right, so I'll see you guys back here in about 20-30 minutes. Okay guys, so it's still a little warm but not hot any longer. So let's do the big reveal. I just like to use my little weeding tool here to start peeling up the tape. Alright, here we go. That is so cool how that turned out. Now you see here in the A, we missed the middle, but now you can still tell it's an A. That's why I like that font. So, but this turned out wonderful. And it's completely sealed. Oh, sorry, my ring. I mean, it's sealed. You don't have to seal it or anything. One thing you also can do, if you worry about this side scratching your tables or anything, get some of these felt feet. And apply 3, and there you go. So I think these are really cool. There's endless possibilities. You can customize and put maybe like Mr. and Mrs. for a wedding gift, like their last name, or Mr. and Mr., you know, whoever the wedding's for, and you put their last name down here. That'd be great. And as you can see here, all the color is gone. That was all that ink turned into a gas, and that's what transfers onto here. So it's really cool technology. So glad Cricut made something like this. There's a lot of possibilities you can do with this. So it's very, very cool. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And also, there'll be some links in the comments, or links in the description there for some of the items I use here today. And leave me a comment. Give me some ideas if you guys like to see something different. Until next time, see you guys.